We're back with Damian Nordman from the School of Metaphysics, and we are talking about this dream interpretation, and we're all just fascinated. We've been sitting here talking during the break. And some of y'all were fascinated, too, because we asked for some questions from y'all on our Facebook page regarding your dreams. And so let's see if you can answer a few of these. So Valerie said, I keep dreaming about that there are multiple suns and moons. Normally it's 2 suns, and then another night I'll dream about 2 moons. When I see it in my dreams, it's always a wow moment.
Yeah, that's great because light in a dream represents awareness for the dreamer, depending on how much light is
So
there.
if you see a bright light?
Yeah, now the sun and the moon have specific meanings.
Oh.
Because whenever you have a moon in a dream, it's really indicating that there's more awareness in your subconscious mind, the inner mind where we actually dream, where we go. It's also where our intuition comes from. Then a sun actually represents what we call superconscious awareness, or awareness of your superconscious mind, which is sort of like what you were talking about, like that part of us connected to God, connected to something divine. So her having these dreams where there's 2 suns and 2 moons, it's placing an extra emphasis on the awareness of her inner life or her inner self, or you could even say her more spiritual parts of herself.
Interesting.
So that's a good dream.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another one. Heidi said, I was preparing for a huge tornado coming my way. Had to get myself, my 1-year-old. I saw not 1 but 2 huge tornadoes coming together as one heading in my direction. Strangely enough, after the storm, we were okay.
Well, I would say perhaps she just lives in Oklahoma or Kansas. However, the dreams always have some kind of meaning. So tornadoes are very common. I've had tornado dreams. A lot of people I've met have had them. And if you think about a tornado, it's this whirlwind that's spinning around so fast and kind of violent. So it's usually when a person is experiencing some kind of inner turmoil, some racing thoughts, some tumultuousness that's going on. And like what we were talking about earlier, some fear perhaps is there.
Finances.
It could be, it could be really anything. That's up to the dreamer to figure out. As far as is the tumultuous thoughts about family? Is it about their finances, their job, their relationships? What is it? But the dream is always going to give you this kind of universal image to go with. And if you think about a tornado, it's a pretty scary thing. Like if we had one today, we would be a little freaked out.
Now, what does it mean when someone has a dream about someone they haven't seen in a really long time? Because I feel like I have dreams about maybe people from high school or like childhood friends.
Ex-boyfriends.
Or ex-boy. Yeah, and then it's like someone you haven't talked about or thought about in years, and then all of a sudden you have this very vivid dream about them.
Well, people represent aspects of the dreamer, qualities. So whenever you can pinpoint a specific virtue or quality, positive or negative, in that person that was their outstanding, or particularly if you know them now, is their outstanding quality, then that's what they're going to represent. So if you haven't seen the person in a long time, you need to go back to what was the last way you saw that person. Like, how did you think of them? Were they courageous? Were they funny? Did they have a lot of integrity?
But I don't need to read into it and be like, oh, I need to call this person or look this person up on Facebook tomorrow and see what they're up to.
Could it mean that you need, if there's a fence to mend, could it mean something that you think you need to?
Ooh.
Occasionally that might be true. I wouldn't make that the first thing that I would look at.
That's what I would think.
That's one of those things that you kind of have to just say, well, is there something I need to talk to this person about? However, the real key is to look at what was that quality you saw in that person, and is that now coming up in you?
So then dreaming about ex-boyfriends is totally normal.
A lot of people do. A lot of people do, actually.
And if you're married.
Right, now that brings up a whole other set of issues.
Real quickly, though, Damian, you said that one of the most common dreams that people have is their teeth falling out.
Yes.
Tell us quickly what that means. Because I said that to people, and everyone's like, "Oh, I've had that dream." I never had that.
Yeah,
I had that. Not my two friends.
It's probably the most common one that I've heard, and it really once again we can talk about food, because food represents knowledge that we are taking in, and so when you are talking about your teeth, that's the means by which the first way that you process or assimilate knowledge. So if you have your teeth falling out, typically something's going on where you don't know how to assimilate the information that's coming to you. Might be that for some people who have that dream, it's just because they're bombarded with magazines, internet, television, schooling. And if you look at our education system,
too much knowledge.
Yeah, sometimes our education system is real heavy on here. Just kind of take this and shove this knowledge inside your brain.
Information overload.
Well, what do you do with it? We need to know how to apply it, to use it in our life so that it has meaning, so that it has substance, and you can actually do something with it.
Well, Damien, you have given us so much knowledge, and thank you for being here.